Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, it's nice to have you. Feel free to check out my other YouTube channel, laurafordesvideos too. Alright, so what are we going to be making today? Well, today I'll be making jasmine rice as a foundation for fried rice the next day. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to go over all that we need in order to make our jasmine rice. So here I have 2 cups of washed jasmine rice. Here I have 1 teaspoon of salt. Here I have 4 green cardamoms and 5 cloves. Here I have 2 star anise. Here I have 1 cinnamon stick, some coconut oil that we will need, and 3.5 cups of water. Now usually when you're doing rice, it's usually a 1-to-2 ratio. So 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water. But when I'm doing my rice, I don't stick to that ratio. I actually put a little less water. So usually instead of putting 2 cups of water, I would put a cup and 3/4. The reason why I'm just putting 1 teaspoon of salt and not 2, because remember we're using this as the foundation for fried rice, and invariably when you're making a fried rice, you would be adding either oyster sauce or soy sauce, which already has salt in it. So that's why I'm just going to be putting 1 teaspoon of salt in my rice. But with these other spices, it helps to give a foundation of flavor to your rice. So let's get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in some oil in our pot here, and we're just going to saute the spices because we want to waken up the spices, so to speak, the oils, the natural oils in the spices. So I'm just going to put some coconut oil here, and we're going to throw in our cinnamon stick. We're going to throw in our 2 star anise. We're going to throw in our cloves and our green cardamoms. And we're also going to throw in our 1 teaspoon of salt. And what we're going to do is just stir this around the oil to help to release the natural oils in the spices so that we can infuse that coconut oil that I've put in there. What I like to do with the cardamoms is I kind of like press it a little just to help to release some of that flavor into the oil. Right? So I'm just going to toast these spices a little bit. And like I said, toasting the spices helps to release some of the natural oils within the spices itself. So guys, if you're getting any value out of what you've seen so far, be sure to hit that like button. All right, something else that I would usually do, which you will see in a while I want this to toast a little bit. Something else that I like to do as well is to toast my rice grains. So you would see me do that in a while. I'll just put the rice grains in here and just toast it a little bit in the oil before I add my water. I'm just getting all the aroma from the spices. I can smell it. Of course, and I'm also getting a free facial as well. See, there are benefits in cooking. All right, so about now I'm going to add in my rice. And we're going to toast the rice along with the spices. If you want to check out my other rice videos that I have done, you can look under my rice recipe playlist. on my channel. Maybe what I will do is leave a link in the description for my rice recipes playlist for you, just to make it easier for you to find it. And of course, if you watch to the end of my video, in my end card, you will also see me highlighting one of those recipes. Okay, so you notice I am frying these rice grains for a little while here. I'm not rushing to add water just yet. I'm sort of toasting my rice grains. And if you look closely, I can see some of the rice grains are even starting to turn a little brown. So that's how we know that our rice grains are getting nice and toasty. You can just toast it to your preference. So there's no time to say, well, you toast it to this amount of time and then you, no, it's up to you. So if you want to add the water now, you can do that. You just toast it to the point that you are happy with. Okay, so I think about now, because I can feel the stiffness in the rice grains. So I'm going to add now my 3.5 cups of water to this. All right, so what I'm going to do now is put the heat up really high so that I can get this to come up to a boil. And then when it comes up to a boil, I'm going to turn my fire down to low. I'm going to cover it. Now I have a very heavy cover for my pot here. That's important because when you have a heavy cover, it traps all the steam in. And so because of that, once it comes up to a boil, I will turn it down like I said, cover it, and I'm going to leave it to cook for 8 minutes. I'm going to put on my timer. Now when the timer goes off at 8 minutes, I'm not going to open it. I'm going to leave it for a further 5 minutes before I open it. And again, I can do that because of the fact that I have a really heavy pot cover that really traps everything in. So we're just going to wait for this to come up to a boil. Okay, so now that our rice started to boil, we're now going to cover it. We're going to turn it down and we're going to put on our timer for 8 minutes. Okay, so now that our rice is finished, what we're going to do is spread it out on a baking sheet and we're going to put it into the fridge uncovered like this overnight. And then the next day, our rice will be ready to use as fried rice.